Put in perspective, to get a university degree is 4 years, and in less than 4 years, you went from being the guy with the mullet at the draft in 2012 to you're hoisting the mug as a 21-year-old. Like, to think about that, like, you got that done sooner than someone gets a degree done in university. That's pretty impressive. It's never been done before, especially on back-to-back years. Which is another question I got for you too is, game one, you tear your hamstring in warm-ups against Columbus. I'm also curious what you're doing for 4 to 6 weeks, and then you come back from a torn hamstring, and then you're ready to rock and roll for game 3 against the Senators. I was watching some of the highlights the other night, just like chopping up clips for the video version of the show, and cool as ice. I think Flower gives up 4 goals, might have been three in a really short, rapid succession in the first period. Sullivan says, "Muzz, go in there," and you're like, "Yep, all right." Calm, cool as a cucumber, and like the body language you exhibit now is the same stuff that I see in the video then. Just, all right, just another day at the office is business. You got to go make some saves. Going to go make some money, go win a mug. Like, it gives me chills just talking about it, because watching it and getting to know you personally, I get inspired just watching it. But like, to talk about it out loud, like, it's so cool to kind of like piece everything together and connect the dots on that. Like, what's going through your mind in that situation?
After the hamstring injury I had?
After the hamstring injury, Sully gives you the nod, and you're back in the mix.
Yeah, well, I think, again, it was just, it came down to really fortunate timing for me. Flower played unbelievable. I remember Game 7 against Washington in the second round was the first time that I was back, like, on the bench. So that was the first time I was healthy enough to dress for a game. Flower played unbelievable in the first round as well. Got us to the third round, and I just remember thinking, like, at the time, we were down in the series, we were down big time in the game, and I just had nothing to lose. I just said, here we go. Let's go out and play. The game, I believe, was already 5-1 at the time, or maybe 4-0. So the game seemed like it may be out of reach, and as a goalie, you can't score goals. So my goal wasn't to go in and win the game. My goal was just to go in and have fun, and it was my first game in a while, coming off of a torn hamstring. And I just thought to myself, I put in the work to get back from this injury, and I've had a great team around me. Our guys are, we can still get this done, but in that moment, especially in that particular game when I went in, I had nothing to lose, and so I was able to go on and play freely and felt really good, played well. We ended up losing, obviously, because we were down 5-1 or whatever it was. We lost that game, but then I got the call again the next game, and we won that one. Took that round to 7 games, and obviously Chris Kunitz scores the huge double OT winner to put us into the finals. And once that happened, we just had all the momentum in the world, because we just come back from being down in the series, and again, I was feeling good about myself. I was playing well and still felt like I had nothing to lose. So another instance of just really fortunate timing and a great team that gets hot at the right time, and good leadership, good coaches, just a great group, everybody coming together at the right time. And I was just, very, very fortunate to be a part of it.
On a personal note, so you're going to the Cup final, Nashville, which also I really appreciate at the start of every series. They would build a custom Pittsburgh Penguins car and then smash it in the parking lot. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Like the Blackhawks car and then the Blues car. It was really cool, I thought. But so game 1, game 2, handle them easily. And then game 3 and 4. I've never seen you talk about this on any interviews or whatnot. I want to play a little audio for you. And I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear this.
I think I know what's coming.
That changes. It's all your fault.
What goes through your mind? Yeah. Because what job on planet Earth are you doing in front of 20,000 people telling you while you're at the office you're doing a really bad job?
Yeah.
How do you compartmentalize that?
It's tough. I just remember being honestly just in awe of the volume of it, for one. It became, kind of a thing in its own right there. And I feel like my name being, 2 syllables, it just fit perfectly into that chant. And it was just like, it was so precise. Like they were just so on point with it. Like it sounded great, and it was so loud, and it wasn't like off. Like everyone was saying it all at the exact same time, and it was like it couldn't have been more like perfectly orchestrated. And I just remember sitting there after getting scored on, like, God damn, that's like kind of cool. Like it is a really cool experience to play in a building like that, and to hear fans cheering like that, and to hear everybody in unison saying the same thing. It was like a really cool experience. And then you're like, oh wait, they're telling me how bad I suck. And so yeah, I don't know. I was just, the fact that maybe that helped me. The fact that I was kind of in awe of it, and it was like a choir singing. It was like there's something beautiful about it to me, as weird as that sounds. And yeah, I remember being like, those 2 games didn't go very well, and we heard that chant a lot. I remember, and thankfully we were able to regroup and go back home and get the job done at home. And then coming back into that game 6, I believe it was, I was kind of like, there's one way to not hear that chant again, and that's to to not let in any goals. And so I was like, wouldn't that be nice if we were able to keep everybody quiet in there? And thankfully we were.
Is there any like technical adjustments that you're making? Because you're going from game 3 and 4 where, if I'm remembering correctly, they were targeting your glove a lot, and then fast forward, shutout in game 5, game 6, they're targeting the glove again, and every single time you're making save, and then you finish with back-to-back shutouts. Like, what adjustments are you making there?
Yeah, so adjustments were minor, if anything. I think as a team, we just saw kind of what their game plan was going to be in games 3 and 4. I remember their team being very centered around the skill of their defensemen, and so their defensemen were creating a lot of the offense. So just picking up on that, being a little bit more aware of those guys, Yossi and guys like that, Ekholm, Ryan Ellis, Subban, seeing those guys trying to jump up in the play and looking for offense, and just trying to be more aware of it. So any adjustments you make are minor at that point in a series or in the playoffs. It's all very minor stuff that's going to get the job done. Really, at the end of the day, it's all probably mostly mental at that point. And just whichever team has a better mindset is going to come out on top.
Like when I watch those highlights and I'm watching back the clips, I'm seeing calm, cool, in control, a big guy, right place, right time. Like, am I missing anything, or is that basically spot on?
I mean, you try. That's what you try. That's what you, that's what you search for sure. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, and sometimes you're a little bit off. But yeah, in the playoffs especially, the game simplifies in the playoffs, or it tends to, and it turns into a lot of just shots with traffic and volume over where the shot's coming from, and they're looking for rebounds and ugly, dirty goals. Power plays become extremely important at that point in the playoffs. So really, it's just about managing momentum, and I think that's what we did a nice job of both of those years. Is we got big penalty kills when we needed them, we got big goals when we needed them, and the team that manages the momentum swings the best usually ends up being the one lifting the cup at the end of the year. And we were lucky to do that, a couple years in a row.
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. We do a new podcast every single Sunday during the season called Sling the Biscuit. It is a non-mainstream hockey podcast, so we talk about my hockey career, the minor pros, Spain, the Fed, you name it, all the stuff that you won't hear in the mainstream news.
Music,
Pop culture.
politics, a little bit.
Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.